Hello, this video is going to show you how to create your first Java program. So to create this program, we are going to use an application called Netbeans. I have Netbeans open here on my screen already. If you don't have that open, you're going to need to get that open. And you can do that by going to the Start menu and typing Netbeans. And you should see Netbeans pop up there. If you don't, you might not have it installed yet. I'm using Apache Netbeans 11.2, but this tutorial will work for pretty much any version of Netbeans, such as 8.2 or earlier. So once you have Netbeans open, you want to create a new project. So every program you write should be done in a new project. So to do that, we'll go File, and then select New Project. Java with Ant is the one we want. You might not see all these categories, but essentially the default option that pops up, that's the one you want. So you're going to click Next. I'm going to just save mine to the desktop. You might want to put yours in a different folder, like an ICS3U folder or something like that. And we're going to call this First Java Program. This is the name of the project, and this is the project location. And you can change the location by clicking Browse. It is important that you understand where your projects are saved so that you can do things like hand them in. So we're going to click Finish, and Netbeans will create the project for us, and then we will go through what we get. All right, here we go. So the first thing I notice is that the text is really small. You can change a lot of things about the Netbeans IDE, one of them being the size of this text. A really easy way to do this is to click the scroll wheel on your mouse and scroll in. That will make it bigger. You can also do hold the Alt key and scroll with the touchpad as well. That works too. Oops. All right, there we go. So all of this green stuff is comments. We're not going to worry too much about comments in this video. So I'm going to go ahead and delete them just to kind of unclutter it. So any of this green code is irrelevant to our program at this point. It's there to explain the code itself, but we're not going to worry about that yet. So here is our first Java program. The first line this is called the package line, and this tells the computer which package this file is in. We're not going to worry too much about packages right now. This is the class, so public class first Java program. That's the name of our class and our project. You can see the project name up here. And if you expand this project and the source packages, you can see there is our package, just like it says up here. And then inside that package is our Java file, first Java program. So this is where all of their code is going to be written. So the class starts with this brace and ends with this brace. Any code between these two braces is said to be inside the class. So you can see this thing is inside the class. This is called the main method. And every program has to have at least one main method, and that's where the code starts to execute. So you can see with the main method here, it also has an open brace and a closing brace. So anything between these braces is said to be inside the main method. So let's go ahead and put some code inside the main method. This is what we're going to do. System dot or period and then out dot println open bracket. And now Netbeans automatically inserted the closing bracket and this semicolon for me, which was nice of it. Inside the brackets, we are going to put a quote. And when I type one quote, Netbeans automatically adds another one for me, which again is kind of convenient. And we are going to write, "Hello, world. And here we go. That's our first Java program. So let's go over how we can actually run this and see what the output is. So right now we can tell that this program has unsaved changes because, well, a couple ways. This is bolded up here, the title of the Java file, as well as the Save All button is clickable. So if you click the Save All button, it's now no longer clickable. That means there aren't any unsaved changes, and this is no longer bolded. If we did make a change, you can see that goes back to bolded and unsaved. So it's a good idea to save your work as you go. When you run the program, it is also automatically saved, but only when you run it. So if you're writing a lot of code between runs, it's a good idea to save as you go. So in order to run this program, you press this green play button. So we go ahead and press that, and our code gets compiled and then run. And then here we go. Here's our output. And I'm changing the size of that with the Alt scroll wheel again. Okay, cool. So there is our first Java program. I'm going to go ahead and add just a couple more lines to show you some useful keyboard shortcuts in Netbeans that can help you speed up your programming. Because we all want to be fast and efficient. Now I'm putting spaces or an empty line in between each print statement, but that's not really required. It's sort of just a stylistic thing that I like to do sometimes. So the first one, Control+S will save your file in Netbeans. And what I'm going to do now is actually, rather than typing this out each time, I'm going to copy it and paste it. So this is a really useful one. Copy. Paste. Here's another useful one. Cut. So that's if you want to move something from one place to another, and rather than copying, creating another whole copy of it. Here's another one that works well. F6. We'll run our program in Netbeans, so we don't have to go up there and click that green button. And what else? One last one. If you press Alt, Shift, and F, that will auto format your code for you in Netbeans. This is a really useful one. If your code starts to get messy, Netbeans will clean it up for you, make it easy to read. So what we can do now is press F6 to run. And there we go. There's all our output. So I think we're going to end the video there. Just a quick example of how to create a new project in Netbeans, how to add some code to it, and how to run it. Now, if you want to, you don't need to worry about saving this program because it's already saved. We can tell that there. If you needed to move this project somewhere else, if you want to organize your files, you should close it in Netbeans before you do that. So you can right click and you can close it. You can also rename your project here as well if you want to rename it. And that's it for now. Thank you for listening. Hope you found it useful.